Alright, so Spear and Shield, we're just going to try and go over this really quick. So, this is literally your main form of DPS, if you want to call it DPS. It's very low. You're just going to keep poking them and poking them and poking them. Your main goal here is mostly disruption, especially in group play. In solo play, you're still not going to have that impressive of DPS. You're literally going to just be there to survive, piss people off, and sustain. You pin down, it'll push a target away. Since these are practice dummies, they immediately act as if they collided with something, so they get stunned. You have your Shield Bash, which is a silence. Once that silence runs out, you still get the cooldown and ability speed debuffs. So if they get hit by that, it's going to be hard for them to keep casting abilities quickly or keep auto-attacking you quickly, because it's going to just lower their speed in which they do so by a large sum. You obviously have Blink. You can teleport past people, into people, around people, away from people. Pretty obvious. Your empty slot, which would be Earthquake, but I can't equip it currently because of how my point distribution is for my skills. But generally you would use that with your delayed teleport. They'll stay mesmerized long enough for you to use Earthquake, so don't even worry about that. And then of course you have Draining Burst, which you can also use for that, or if they're stupid enough to stay next to you while you're casting it next to them. Either way, you can heal off of that, 150 per target, 150 energy per target as well. Very good to be able to reset a fight however the hell you please. Aether Form immediately puts you into CC immunity when you have it at rank 18 or 20. Your choice on how that goes. The cooldown differentiation isn't that huge from 18 to 20, but at 20 you have about a 4-second interval in which you cannot recast it, and it is impossible to get the 100% uptime unlike Staff because the cooldown debuff on Spear and Shield passively stat-wise. As for the 2 support abilities, you can swap out at any time, Cleansing Shove and Emergency Rescue if you're solo and you're not running in a group at all. Emergency Rescue, you throw it at a target, it teleports it behind you, it gives it that immunity bubble, and you can't deal any direct damage to it, you can only dot it. So, there's that. They can still be crowd controlled by stuns, silences, etc. They can be debuffed, but it doesn't really matter. And say if you do throw this on someone, say they get stunned or something at the end of it, you can immediately hit them with Cleansing Shove, and that actually removes all debuffs, all CC in the game. If there is CC on that target, it will heal you, but I don't recommend leveling this because it does not scale whatsoever with levels other than the healing potential, which is really, really fucking garbage. Like 20 points so you can get 50 more healing, so at 10 points it's 25 more healing. It's not worth it. It doesn't even scale on cooldown. As for abilities, you can sub out on Emergency Rescue and Cleansing Shove. You have Forceful Throw, Lunge, and Breathing Room. That's your only options. I recommend Forceful Throw and Breathing Room because you don't need Lunge on Robe. On Leather, it's a different story because you're going to have abilities that you can't swap out at all, but it's sort of the same. But on Leather, you'll probably use Lunge and Lunge and Breathing Room because Forceful Throw will go where your Earthquake is. But outside of that, you're not going to use Flurry of Thrust because once you start using Flurry of Thrust, you cannot deactivate it. And if somebody roots you or pushes you away, you are stuck in that animation. There's nothing you can do. And now you're standing there stabbing your spear at nothing. And you can't even break that CC with Freedom if you're Leather. You can't blink out of it. You can't counter with Delayed Teleport or another CC of your own. So Flurry of Thrust, it's just not worth it. It's a good ability in concept, but it's just bad at actually being applied properly. And now we'll just go ahead and look at Leather really quick. Freedom, your Forceful Throw goes where your Earthquake would have been. Zephyr, Drain Life, Captivating Sprint. So we're going to switch back to Robe so I can show you what this build should kind of look like. We're going to drop Emergency Rescue so we can put Earthquake on real quick. And so, say the fight starts out, you can delay teleport in, hit an Earthquake, they're going to panic immediately, you're going to start poking them. If they go on an ally, you can go ahead and hit one with Pin Down, keep fighting. Even if you see CMU, he's still going to get the other debuff, so you can reduce his damage output, so that's pretty handy. Say they're still fighting and you need energy back, you go ahead and you can drain that back with Draining Burst. You just pretty much keep fighting. You pay attention to your allies to be able to cleanse them, emergency, all that nonsense. Just pretty much be a dick. That's literally what this build is for, is to run around being a dick. You know, you can teleport to people, you can teleport away to people, well, away from people, and just not give a damn. And since you're Spear and Shield, even with Robe, you have relatively solid resist. So you don't really have a care in the world as long as you're paying attention. And obviously, remember to use Aether Form. It'll save you a lot. And then, of course, remember you can also use Aether Form while you are in immunity to be able to increase it by 10 seconds at rank 20. So that's also very, very helpful. That can give you up to a potential 35 seconds of crowd control immunity, since if you get the initial 15, it'll go up to 25, and then you can hit it again, since it has a 19-second cooldown, so you can follow it up again for a total of a possible 35 seconds. But Spear and Shield, remember, Robe and Leather.